Welcome back to Peniros Mind. I got a message for you today, and it's up to you if you want to take it. If you want to listen, take heed, it's up to you. You know, I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you how to think. This is an awareness channel, and that's what I can do, is give you awareness, right? Now, from day to day, I see people posting up pictures on Instagram of the beautiful red sky. This sky that you think's beautiful, that you've probably been seeing for the last 10 years, this beautiful sky that you've been seeing is not as beautiful as you think it is. Them red particles that you see in the sky are actually iron oxide that are getting emitted from planet Nibiru, aka Planet X, aka the Destroyer, aka Wormwood in the Bible. Now, and also different ancient Sumerian tablets and scrolls in the past. And different religions also talk about this planet Nibiru crossing over, and when it does, it brings devastation. Now, I've known about this planet for a long time. I've only done a few videos on it. I've done a video with an ex-NASA employee, that was looking through a telescope and actually could see this and see what was inside its tail. In fact, let me play you a little bit of this video.
Has got so much trash coming around it. You know how we live in a solar system? We've got 9 planets and a big sun. This thing has got 7 planets and its own sun. But I believe that instead of having dirt on it like our planet does and water, I think this thing is just a big, bright reddish-orange iron ball, because it's giving off all this red iron oxide dust out into the atmosphere. When we saw it, at first, it was just a teeny little red speck of fuzzy red dust in the distance, but over the years as it went by and we watched it, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then finally, about 2008, we could see this thing like it was across the street, and we could see that it was a blazing hot ball of fire giving out sparkles of red iron oxide dust for thousands of miles in every direction.
If you want to, you can go back and watch that video, and you can get a rough estimation of what's inside the tail of the planet that's supposed to be hitting us, just like it says in the Bible. But anyway, we're going to get to that later. So like I was saying, this red particle dust that everyone thinks beautiful is not as beautiful as you think it is. You know, it's filled with iron oxide, iron oxide particles. Now, this has been going on for a long time on the planet, but obviously the government are not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you that we got a big, giant planetary system crossing over us, and it gets closer and closer every time. But when it's coming over, it's bringing devastation to the planet. As you well know, you've seen the earthquakes. You've seen, over the last 5 to 10 years, you've seen the different volcanoes and going off. That hasn't been going off since 20 years ago. Some of them 50 years ago, some of them 100 years ago. But all now, in this period of time, they seem to be going off. Because what you have to understand is that this planetary object causes the atmosphere to move different as it crosses over, and it creates turbulence, floods, so many different things. Fish is dying in the sea. Now, let's have a look at Australia now with the fires. Maybe it's meteors that are coming out of this planetary system and hitting this place, and creating fires. And then what do we have? Smoke, dust. They're telling people to carry their mask in different places because they know what's going on, right? The planetary system, they've been hiding it for how long? They're not going to tell you about a big planetary system is going to come over, just like it states in the Bible. The Destroyer. Some call it Planet Hell. If you go back to my video when I'm talking about how many heavens there are, you will notice that in the story that I'm talking about, the angel that delivers the message had to fight through a hell to get to earth. Verse 12.
Then he continued, "Do not be afraid, Daniel, since the first day that you set your mind to gain understanding and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come in response to them. But the prince of the Persian kingdom resisted me 21 days. Then Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me because I was detained there with the king of Persia. Now I have come to explain to you what will happen to your people in the future, for the vision concerns a time yet to come.
You have to understand what's going on here. See, this ain't no joke. When you see people walking up and down the road and wearing masks like I did when I was in London Bridge, I saw Chinese people walking up and down wearing masks. You have to peep these things. You have to think about these things. In certain countries right now, the air pollution is serious, and you mix that with the dust clouds. Where are these dust clouds coming from? A lot of people are getting pneumonia. Let's take a look at the effects of this ammonia. So we well know that the symptoms of pneumonia is due to the dust, you know, and how it affects your lungs. Now let's look at the difference between pneumonia symptoms and coronavirus symptoms.
Symptoms of dust pneumonia include high fever, chest pain, difficulty in breathing, and coughing. People who had dust pneumonia often died.
Anyone who is worried should look out for cough, sore throat, high temperature, feeling tired, and difficulty breathing. Anyone who is worried should look out for cough, and difficulty breathing. Sore throat, high temperature, feeling.
So what am I saying? Am I saying that this coronavirus is BS? Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you've been bamboozled and hoodwinked, most definitely, because they never tell you the full story. They never tell you the full story. You understand? Right? But the coronavirus is for real. But where is it coming from?
During a total solar eclipse, you can see the outer hazy atmosphere around the sun, which we call the corona, which we call the corona, which we call the corona. During a total solar eclipse, you can see the outer hazy atmosphere around the sun, which we call the corona, which we call the corona, which we call the corona.
There's something in the air, people. Look at Australia. Yeah, there's things hidden in the clouds that are actually changing the way the whole land looks underneath it. This has to be emitting from above. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Right? So I'm not saying that the coronavirus isn't real. I'm just saying, but where does it come from? This is what I'm trying to say.
During a total solar eclipse, you can see the outer hazy atmosphere around the sun, which we call the corona, which we call the corona, which we call the corona.
People are seeing this dark destroyer all over the world. People are hearing sounds on the planet. You're looking at me right now, this guy paranoid. Now you're paranoid. You're paranoid of what your girl thinks of you. You're paranoid of what that guy at work thinks of you. Listen to me. When you come to the level that I've got to, man, I don't care about none of that. And that's why I was chosen to do this. I told you at the beginning of the video, you haven't got to take heed to what I'm saying. Yeah. Just research it for yourself, like I always say to you guys all the time. Research it for yourself. People are having breathing problems. They're calling it the coronavirus. Now work it out for yourself. There's some people that are not as healthy as other people. I'm getting a lot of phone calls and I'm seeing a lot of messages about this person passing and this person passing and this person has this and this person has this. So think about it, at the same time as this coronavirus going on, this thing sitting in the sky, releasing all these different gases, yeah, that are not good for us, and particles and dust. And the world's gone mad, and in certain places, the world looks red and orange and come on, man. Like right now, Australia, they're on one right now. Check this out.
The coronavirus will enter a pandemic phase, prompting the government to initiate its emergency response plan.
With cases of the virus now present in 42 countries around the world, the PM says the risk to Australia is very much upon us, despite the World Health Organization not yet declaring a pandemic.
San Francisco Mayor London Breed declared a local emergency today, despite no confirmed cases in the city.
And by declaring a state of emergency, we are prioritizing the safety of our communities by being prepared.
Hey, let me tell you something now. You see them little masks that people are walking around with? It's not going to help you. You need a proper mask. If not a gas mask, like a World War gas mask. It's not going to help you. You know, I heard that the Arabs, there was an article where the Arabs had one of the best masks. It has some type of copper attached to it, which is kind of strange because that's a conductive element. Why would you attach copper to a mask? Anything comes in the system, you just rip your whole face off. That's crazy. But they're sold out, you know, and people are going crazy for it. But make sure you get the right mask. And right now, as it states, as the situation looks, I don't feel paranoid about wearing a mask. No, don't feel paranoid about wearing a mask at all. It's crazy, people. Well, my people, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna get too, you know, I'm gonna let you lot go away and research your own thing. For those that are seriously interested about the concern of their families, and this is why people, I've been trying to tell you that this is why the people them have been dying so early. Like I said, everyone's body's different, you know. You know, some people get sickle cell. Some people have got a cancer in their family, and everyone's DNA codes are different, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna affect everyone differently, but as this thing gets closer in the planetary system, it's gonna, well, it's in the system already, you know? Well, it's in the system already, but as this thing draws closer, we're all definitely gonna be affected by this. You know, don't forget to research Wormwood, Nibiru, Planet X, you know? And like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the clothing line. Alright, peace.